Do not make the mistake of thinking for people. Everybody is not like you.
Welcome to Mimi's Musings, a place where inspiration flourishes and positivity blossoms.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mimi Ikomi. If this is your first time on my channel, I especially welcome you. Thank you for clicking this video. I do hope that you get to watch to the very end and that you do not stop there. That you also like the video. You drop a comment of what you might have learned from the video. That you also share with your family and friends. And most importantly, that you get to subscribe and turn on the notification button so you'll be among the first people who gets to watch my videos when they drop. If you're a returning subscriber, you know how I feel about you already. Thank you so much for watching my videos, for liking them, for dropping your comments. I do not take you for granted. I do not take them for granted. God bless you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I must say that your comments, your likes are part of what keeps me going. Please keep them coming. Thank you so much once again. So the last time I started a topic that I titled The Best Two Advices God Gave to Me, and I got to share the first one. I took my time to expound on it, to elaborate on it, and I knew that I was not going to finish it up. I actually said that at the beginning. I wasn't sure I was going to finish it up because I did not want the video to be too lengthy. So I thought it was best for me to put up a sequel video to that one. Here is the part 2. If you are yet to watch the first video, that's the previous video where I shared the first advice that God gave to me, kindly go to the description box as I have dropped the link to that video. So you just have to click on the link and it will take you straight to that video. I will suggest that you watch that video first before you watch this one so that you get to understand better where I'm coming from, and they are both intertwined to give you a better understanding when you watch that one before you watch this one. Before I go into the second advice God gave to me, I'm going to just do a recap, or rather I'll just share the first advice God gave me. I'm not going to go into details because I've done all of that in the previous video, so I'm just going to say what it is. I'm not going to explain because I've done that already. So the first advice God gave to me is, Mimi, stop trying to be right. Just be sincere. So that was the first advice God gave to me. And I did justice to it. I explained what I have come to understand by that advice, because God gave that advice to me almost 5 years ago. And over the years, I've gotten understanding of that advice and I've put it to practice and it has been really helpful. So kindly go watch it. But what's the second advice that I said God gave to me? The second advice is, treat people based on who you are, but deal with them based on who they are. I'll take it again, but this time around I'll take it slowly. Treat people based on who you are, but deal with them based on who they are. God gave that advice to me sometime last year, and that advice came after I had been hurt over and over and again. And at this time, when somebody again was hurting me, I went back to God and was like, God, this person is doing this thing to me, this person is hurting me. And then God gave me that advice. I'm not going to share the circumstances that led to that advice. No, I'm not doing that in this video. Maybe some other time I get to share it. But that's the advice that God gave to me. Let me bring perspective to it. You're this type of person that if someone gets to borrow you money, you pay back as at when due. no hassle. The person does not have to worry about you not paying back. When it is time for you to pay back, you will pay back. And if for any reason you will default, you would make sure you communicate properly and you also draw out a plan on how to pay back the money. You are that kind of person. And that's because you are big on integrity, you uphold honesty, you do not want to taint your name, you do not want to taint your image. Once you borrow money from somebody, you make sure you pay back. But there's somebody that you know that if you borrow this person money, to get your money back will be a hassle. To get your money back will be a big problem to the point that it could even affect your relationship with them. There are people that are like that. You have somebody like that come to you and say, please, I need 500,000 naira. Granted, you have the money. You can afford to borrow this person this money. But you know that if you do it, it could cause problems for you. The chances of it not ending well is higher than it ending well. You know that. What do you do in that case? You say to the person, at this time, I'm sorry, I will not be able to give you this 500,000 naira. However, I have 50,000 naira I can give to you, but you do not have to pay back. This is just an example. I'm not saying that somebody comes to borrow 500,000 naira from you, then you give them 50,000 naira. It may be 10,000 naira you have to give to them, but you know that this is something you can afford to give out and not bother about not getting it in return or not getting it back. You do that. When you do that, you get to preserve the relationship, you get to prevent yourself from being hurt too. So the person does not end up hurting you too. It doesn't become a big issue where other people get to be involved. They were not there when the transaction happened, but now that it has gone south, they now come in and they start to try to settle, and the back and forth, the emotional roller coaster that comes with it is something that when you do that, it's avoided. You just get to avoid it. When you say, see, it's 20,000 naira I have to give to you. I can't afford to give you that 500,000 naira. That way, you have dealt with a person based on who they are. You are a person of love. And what you have actually done is an act of love. Yes, it is an act of love. You are a person of love. You are a kind person. You are a considerate person. But not everybody is like you. Not everybody is like you. Another scenario is when somebody comes to you and says, maybe a friend or family member says they want you to invest in their business or want you to be a business partner, and you know that this person is not too good with money, or you know that they are not straightforward, what do you do in that case? Do you just outrightly say, no, I'm not going to invest in this business, I'm not interested? And you even say, because I know you are not straightforward and blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do all of that. That's not necessary because it could end in a fight. What do you do when you have somebody like that? You know that if you're the one and you go to somebody and ask them to invest in your business, that you will give them reports, that you give them their own share. When it's time to refund the money, there will be no hassle. They don't have to chase you, that you don't collect the money and then shut them out. No, you're not that kind of person because you are big on integrity, right? Yes. But this person comes to you. So you don't have to outrightly tell them that, no, I'm not going to invest in the business or I'm not going to be your business partner. In this case, what you do is proper documentation. Make sure there's proper documentation. If you have to involve lawyers, do so. Let these documents be signed by both parties. In case this person defaults, then you have evidence to get your money back. But where you did not carry out proper documentation or there was no proper documentation, then there will be trouble because you do not have enough evidence to get your money back. For you, it won't be a problem. If you were in that person's shoes, it won't be a problem because you will make sure that the person who is investing in your business gets to know everything they need to know as at when due. But this person you are dealing with, this person is not like you. You deal with them based on who they are. You deal with them based on who they are. Because one of the biggest mistakes that I made before God gave me the advice is that I used to think for people, and I see people make this mistake a lot. You think for people, you just assume that every other person is like you. No, you aren't supposed to be thinking for people. You are supposed to think for yourself, then observe people and deal with them based on your observation or based on your experience of them. Because we make that mistake. You think because you won't do this thing, somebody else will not do it. That's not true. I said in my previous video that there are people who are intentionally wicked or people who will intentionally hurt you. Because I said that I would not intentionally hurt anybody. If I hurt somebody, then it was never my intention. But then there are people that I know that would intentionally hurt someone. They will intentionally hurt you. To think that everybody is like you is a very big mistake. There was somebody that was supposed to give me money for something, and the person was delaying, so I decided to use my money. But I know that if I tell this person that, see, I've used my money to do this thing, hey, I won't get my money back. Or if I would get my money back, it wouldn't be without a fight. It will be a hassle, there will be back and forth and all of that. And I didn't want that to happen. And this thing was very important. Like I said, I treat people with kindness because I'm a kind person. I treat people based on who I am. You treat people based on who you are. Because you're a kind person, you're a loving person. This thing needed to be done. But I know the person that I was dealing with. So I used my money quite alright. But when I was going to tell the person, I told the person I got that thing, but it had not been paid for. And put pressure on the person to pay for it. And that's why I said that the first advice and this advice, they are intertwined. Yes, I said so. I said they're intertwined because they both require you to be diplomatic. Yes, they require you to use wisdom. People who say diplomacy is a sin. They think being diplomatic is a sin. I am not advising you to lie. I never said that. If that's how you interpret it, then that's on you. I never said you should lie. I said there will be gray areas. I could not say no to this person. I could not say I wouldn't do this thing for this person. No, I couldn't say that. Since I knew that there was no way out, I needed to do it, then I needed to apply wisdom. Because it saved us. It saved the relationship. It saved me from being hurt. In the end, it saved me. It saved the person, it saved me. The person sent the money. I got the money back in my account, and there was no fight, there was no quarrel. Everyone went their separate ways. We just did what we had to do, business over. Because many times we think that everybody is like us. Keep making that mistake. Where if you are the one, you will need little or no supervision, but somebody else will need to be micromanaged. You decide to leave the person with little or no supervision. In the end, you get hurt because this person needs to be micromanaged. And if you must relate with this person, if you must do business with this person, you have to micromanage this person. Two people will not be the same. Two people will not act in the same way. You must have this understanding and deal with them accordingly. When I went to God and was complaining about being hurt, one of the things that I would say was my complaint to God was that why was God allowing this person hurt me? It just didn't make sense to me. I mean, God, you're supposed to be protecting me, right? Why is this person hurting me? Because at that time, I felt like the responsibility of protecting me was solely with God. That's how I felt. When I went to God and I was making this complaint, the Holy Spirit gave me a scenario that gave me an understanding. The Holy Spirit said to me, you pray every day, right? You pray for protection every day. Before you go out, you pray for God to protect you. But when you step out, you just step into the road. Don't you watch the road before you step in? As if you're walking, don't you look to your left, you look to your right before you know when to cross the road? If you are driving, don't you use your side mirrors, don't you use your rear mirrors to check that no car is close to you or no vehicle is close to you? When you drive into the road, you do that. And then that was when I understood that I have a responsibility to protect myself. That yes, God will play his part. Yes, God will protect me. But I had to protect myself too. And so when you deal with people based on who they are, that's one way of protecting yourself because they do not get to hurt you. They do not get to hurt you unnecessarily because it will be foolish for you to just jump into the road because you have prayed. If you jump into the road, get hit by a vehicle, or your car gets involved in an accident and you move to the great beyond, when you get there, I always joke with this when I anytime I think about this particular advice. I always joke with it. I just say this to myself that see when you get to heaven there, after not watching the road, I just feel like you would get a knock on your head. The angels and God will say, "What were you thinking? Why didn't you watch the road before you crossed? Why didn't you watch the road before you drove in?" God has given us a brain. God has given us a mind. And he expects us to use it. He expects us to use wisdom. Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. You pray every night before you sleep, right? You pray for God's protection. You pray for angels to protect you. But do you do that and leave your gates open and leave your door open and say, "Oh, because I have prayed, then I can leave my gates open"? If thieves come into your home, it's on you, not on God. Because that God will protect you does not mean you should be foolish. No, it does not mean you should be foolish. You must learn to deal with people based on who they are. Yes, you are a kind person, you are a loving person, you are amazing, you are wonderful. But that person you are dealing with is nothing like you. Some people have flaws that they do not they are still trying to deal with, and it's taking them time. We all have flaws, and there are certain flaws that is taking us time to overcome. People do not even know that they have those things as flaws, but you recognize it. You know that this person never keeps to time. That's a flaw. When an event is for 10 o'clock, you tell them, it's 9, no, please be ready at 9 o'clock. You don't even have to say the event is by 10. You just say, please be ready at 9 o'clock. Because you know that this person, at that 10 o'clock, they might not even be ready. That's you dealing with them based on who they are. It will help you and it will protect you. Because I realize that many times we get hurt unnecessarily. Yes, there are pain and hurt that we will not be able to avoid. They are unavoidable. The situation and circumstances that causes us pain that we cannot avoid. But many times, or most times, the pain we go through, the hurt we go through can be avoided. They can. Pain that can be avoided or could have been avoided always outnumbers the one that could not have been avoided. You must learn to be wise. You must learn to treat people based on who you are. Be kind to people. That they are unkind does not mean you should be unkind. No, God is not for that. If they are unkind to you, treat them with kindness. Treat them with consideration. Be loving. Be honest with them. But when you know that this is who they are, deal with them based on that. Deal with them based on who they are. Do not make the mistake of thinking for people. Everybody is not like you. All right, so this is where I'm going to draw the curtain on this topic. I do hope that you have learned a lot from the best two advices that God gave to me. Can you see why I say that they are the best advices? Yes, because I tell you, they have helped me. Once in a while, I still forget to practice them, but I keep getting better and better with practicing them. And I must tell you, they have helped me. You see, that second advice, especially, has made me happier. I realized that when I started practicing it, I became a lot happier. The amount of hurts reduced, it reduced drastically because I was just getting hurt. People would just do things because I always think that they are like me. I would deal with them based on that and they will hurt me, or I'll end up getting hurt in the process. But since I started practicing it, I must tell you that it has improved the quality of my life because I'm a lot happier. And I trust that if you put these advices to practice, it will improve the quality of your life too. You will be a lot happier when you start to deal with people based on who they are. You treat them with love and kindness. That's who you are. You're patient with them, you're loving, that's who you are. But when you want to deal with them, do with them based on who they are. Thank you for watching this video. I'm indeed very grateful. Please remember to like it. Remember to drop your comments. Share with me what have you learned. I would love to hear from you. And if there's any topic you want me to talk about, feel free to send me a message and then I will talk about it. Yes. Also, remember to subscribe and turn on the notification button. That is very important. Very, very important. If you have gotten to this point, yes, then you should subscribe and turn on the notification button. Also, remember to follow me on the various social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter. All right, thank you once again. I cannot get tired of thanking you. Thank you once again for watching this video. Thank you once again for getting to this point. God bless you and see you in my next video.